Hi everybody, Stephen Aitchison here with another daily show for you. So today I want to talk about why you might be stuck in life. And really I've come across this a lot of times in my own life, particularly in the past when I didn't really know where I was going. I was stuck in a dead-end job, or what I perceived to be a dead-end job. It was a good paying job, but a good paying job when we're stuck in a job that we don't like. You could be earning $1 million a year, but you still don't like the job. It doesn't matter how much it pays. But I was in a really good job with a telecommunications company, and I knew I had to get out, but I didn't know how I was going to get out, and I was stuck there, and I was going there every single day. But the one thing that defined me from a lot of other people is I had goals to get out. I had a dream to get out. I knew kind of where I was going. I wanted to do this online stuff. I want to write books, I want to create personal development products, and then eventually go on to create business products, etc. So I had goals in my life, and that's what kind of defined me, and that's how I was able to get out of this kind of drudgery that I was in. But a lot of people, what they're doing just now, they're either stuck in the past and they're reliving old kind of memories of, oh, I'm a failure, I'm no good at that, I'm no good at this, I'm not going to get anywhere, I'm not going to have the perfect boyfriend, the perfect girlfriend, or anything like that. They're kind of stuck in the past. Either that, or they're paralysed in the present just now. So they can't move forward. For whatever reason, they can't seem to move forward. And I'm thinking a lot of it, and this might apply to a lot of you as well, is you don't have goals in your life. Or it's not necessarily goals, but you don't have something that you are working towards. So say for example you've got a dead-end job just now. It might pay a lot of money, but to you it's dead-end because it's not what you enjoy, it's not fun, it's not good going to work, and you dread, and I know the feeling. It's a horrible feeling, waking up and going, oh my god, I've got to go to work again. And you've got to do that all over again for 10 hours before coming back and relaxing with the family, or just relaxing with a book, or just going out with friends or whatever. And it's a horrible, horrible feeling. But what I've noticed, a lot of people that was working, when I was working with them, and I was in this situation as well, nobody had a goal. Nobody knew where they wanted to go. They hadn't asked themselves the question, okay, I don't like this job, it's good money, or it's shit money, it might be crap money for you as well, but they weren't asking the question, what do I really want to do? What do I want to do with my life as a career choice, or as doing some kind of job? Would I like to create a business? Would I like to do this with it? They hadn't asked themselves that question. Because you know what happens, especially in big companies, people get stuck in the big companies because it's got a good pension, it's got good pay, and it's got a good retirement package as well. So a lot of people work for 30 years until they start living their lives. So they work for 30 years to get this good retirement package. By that time they might be too old to really enjoy their life, or enjoy the family time, or enjoy time with the partner, or whatever. And they're stuck in this kind of dead-end job just because it's got a good retirement package, it's got a good plan for when you reach 65 years old, you're going to have a really good pension. And you go, what the hell is all that about? That's not the way to live. Now, I know for some people you're going to say, well, it's responsible to do that, you need to plan for the future. Of course you need to plan for the future, but you also need to plan for the present. You need to enjoy your life, and I certainly couldn't do a job I hated for 30 years just to get a good retirement package. And I left a really, really good job, and at the time when I left, I was paying about £33,000 per year, and in today's standard that's probably about £50,000-60,000 per year, or $100,000. It was a really good job, and I just knew I didn't want it. So I took a plan, and they were offering kind of early redundancy, so I took £11,000. That's nothing. I just took £11,000 and I thought, right, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it now. I put in the notice to actually take that redundancy package, took the 11,000 and started making the life I wanted to live. And that's why I am here today, where I am. And that's what a lot of people don't ask themselves, what do I really want to do? And not just in their jobs. This is every area of your life. If you've not watched the Wheel of Life video, go back and watch the Wheel of Life video after this live show. And what to do is look at every single area of your life and ask yourself the question, okay, where do I want to go? With your relationships, where do you want to go with your relationships, or what type of person do you want to have a relationship with? And before I met Sharon, my wife, I knew exactly the type of person I wanted to be with, and I wouldn't settle for second best. Would not settle. I'd been on lots of dates, went out with kind of lots of women and kind of dated them, and some long term, some short term, but I knew that they weren't the one. And so for about 3 or 4 years I was kind of single, still going out and kind of dating and stuff like that, but I was kind of single because I hadn't found the perfect person. And I knew she was going to be petite, I knew she was going to be strong, I knew she was going to be intelligent, very funny. I knew exactly what she was going to be like before I met her, and I didn't settle for second best. And a lot of people settle for second best. So when they get to a certain age, they think maybe in the 30s or 40s, they get to a certain age and think to themselves, they don't voice out loud, but they think to themselves, okay, probably this is the best I'm going to get in a partner. So they stay with that person because they settle for second best. And I'm not putting anybody down for that. I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying nobody should settle for second best. Nobody. In whatever you do, especially in relationships. I was going to look at the comments there, but I'm not going to look at some of the comments. So in relationships as well, know the type of person you want to, if you want to settle down, know the type of person you want to settle down with eventually, or know the type of person you want to be with. And even your friends, know the type of friends you want to have around you. And if you want kind of people who are positive, who are really supportive, who are genuinely nice people, then that's the type of friends to aspire to have. And you can start planning to make and meet those types of friends. And your spirituality, we spoke about spirituality in the Wheel of Life. What do you want to gain from your spiritual life? So do you want to just would you like to meditate and become, gain a higher consciousness, or get onto another level of your consciousness and become more aware of the world around you? But set a goal for your spirituality as well. Set a goal for your money. And we spoke about this in the Wheel of Life. How much do you want to have in the bank in your savings? How much do you want to have disposable income? How much your house, what kind of house do you want, for example, as well? And that's all to do with your kind of money goals. And a lot of the time you'll find the extraneous things that you want in life, like a car, a nice car, and kind of all the trimmings and packages with everything else in your life. You don't really need any of that, and you only realise that when you get the things you want in life. You only realise then that you don't need the fancy cars. What you really do need is a roof over your head, great relationships, and great family life. And obviously some money in the bank to keep you and keep the house, keep the family safe, and that's all you really need. But I can't tell you that, because you're going to realise that as you go through your journey in life. And you're going to realise the fancy cars mean absolutely nothing. And nobody could tell me that, because I wanted the fancy car that I had. And when I got the car, I thought, it's a car. It's a car that drives me from A to B, and I don't need the fancy car. All I need is a reliable car. And when I had kids at the time, I needed a bigger car. And that's all I needed. Reliable, bigger, and it got me from A to B every single time. You don't need the £50,000 cars or the £100,000 cars, but you don't realise that until you get to a certain stage in your life. So every area of your life, as I said, go back to the Wheel of Life and just look at every single area of your life and set yourself goals for what you really do want. You have to ask yourself the question, okay, I'm not happy with this area of my life. What do I want in this area of my life? What do I want to achieve in my life in all the 8 different areas that we discussed? And that's why a lot of people, I think, are stuck in life. They're going round and round in circles because they've not asked themselves the question, where do I want to be? And if you don't ask yourself the question in all the areas of your life where you want to be, it's like jumping in a taxi every single day and saying to the taxi driver, okay, take me somewhere. And the taxi driver kind of looks at you and goes, well, where do you want to go? And you just say, I don't know, just take me. And you drive round and round in circles and you haven't a clue where you're going. You need to know or have a vision of where you're going. Now, don't get me wrong, what's going to happen is you'll set these goals for where you want to go in life, but along the way these goals will kind of change slightly, but at least you're taking the steps to do it. At least you've made the first step and said, okay, this is where I want to be, and you head in that direction. And you're not going to go in a straight line, you're going to go zigzag to get to your goal, the end goal. And that's what's going to happen in every area of your life. But what you must do is take a step towards that goal every single day. And I mean every single day, even if it's making a phone call to somebody that you know to get a better job, or sending in your resume to somewhere else, or doing stuff on social media. If you want to become, say for example, if you want to become a singer-songwriter, if that's your ultimate goal, and your goal is to play in stadiums, or you want to play in front of 1,000 people, what do? You wouldn't sit on your arse all day kind of watching TV and sitting on the couch and just plonking the kind of guitar or whatever. What you would do is you would write songs every single day and you would get them out into the world every single day. And Facebook is an ideal kind of platform to do that, or Google Plus, or any type of social media platform. Is do something every single day to get closer to your goal, so you feel you're reaching your goals in all the different areas of your life. So that was it for today. I'm going to look at some kind of questions, or if you have any questions about this or any comments. Donna Adams-Bowen, hi Donna, how you doing? Saying absolutely zigzag, nothing goes perfectly, and that's too boring anyway. And it is boring. If you're kind of zigzagging along, it makes life interesting. Whereas if you set a goal and you just go straight for it and you get it within a couple of months, it's great to do that, and sometimes that will happen. But the bigger goals, you're going to zigzag, and you'll see signposts along the way to say, okay, you shouldn't be on this path, you should be on this path. So you go zig straight, and that's how you reach your goals, and it's always going to be interesting. Chip Makin is saying thanks for the advice, and thanks for watching, Chip. Cheryl Price is saying you make a lot of sense, Stephen. I'll seriously think about this. However, it's very scary leaving comfy boring land. Cheryl, it is really scary leaving comfy boring land, because what happens, most people get stuck in a comfort zone. So say this is your comfort zone, and in the middle of that is life is easy, life is just going about day-to-day life, and some people are happy with that, and that's cool, that's brilliant. Some people are happy in this comfort zone. But once you take a step outside your comfort zone gets a wee bit bigger, and it's scary. So you take one step at a time. So next step, a little bit scary, but it's cool. A little bit scary, but it's cool. A little bit scary, a little bit scary, a little bit scary, big bit scary. But because you've grown in confidence while expanding your comfort zone, that's when you really start to grow. See, inside this area, inside your comfort zone, nobody grows inside that zone as a person. Personal development wise, relationship wise, business wise, career wise, money wise, nobody grows inside that comfort zone. The only place to grow is outside this little comfort zone. So you have to take a step out. Even if it's 1 foot outside the comfort zone, then you're going to grow as a person. And then you take another step, and pretty soon your comfort zone is that size, and you feel you can do anything at all in life. And that's how you grow as a person in life. Aya Villaflores is saying just try everything. I tend to agree with that. If you don't know where you're going, just try something. If you don't like that, try something else. You don't like that, you try something else. Okay, so the comments have kind of stalled at the moment. I'm just going to refresh the page. So I just want to see if you've got any questions on that, if that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, just leave a comment below just to say, yep, all makes sense. And if you've got any questions, just ask away. Maricar Gomez saying, yes, building your confidence is very important. That's probably one of the most important things. And again, inside your comfort zone, you're not going to grow in confidence. Mariah is saying, stuck in a bad relationship, says a girl from Holland, fear to stay alone and not to fall in love again and someone in me. That is fear, and you have to kind of overcome that fear, and the only way to overcome that fear is to do what your kind of heart is telling you. I'm not going to tell you what to do because you know what to do anyway. Do what your heart is telling you, and then decide if the fear that's going to last for a few days is going to be worth it. And trust me, it will be. Sherry Olsen saying, open-minded here is sensible to me, excellent. Karine Giz is saying, hi from Flanders. Tuned in late, what are the main areas to set goals in? You can watch this video after Ashley. Ashley Norris is saying that she's tuned in late. Sarah O'Toole Stevenson, fear of failure. That's probably one of the biggest things, but I would like to turn that around and say a lot of people think they're frightened of failure, but what is, a lot of people are actually afraid of success. So the fear, okay, something has to change. If I'm successful in reaching my goal, something is going to have to change, and that's really what they fear. It's not the fear of failure, it's actually the fear of success. So just ask yourself that question as well. Maya Ura, this is nice to know what you really want to do in your life, but it's kind of difficult. It's not difficult if you ask the question, Maya. Is it Maya or Maya? I'll say Maya. It's if you ask the question. So a lot of people are not asking the questions about what they want to do with their life. So you've got to ask that question, okay, what do I want to do? What is it I really, truly want to do in every single area of your life, in your relationships, your money, your business, your career, just every area of your life, spirituality. What do you want to achieve? What goal do you want to have at the end of it? And June Ritchie, it makes a lot of sense, but it can be hard. Confidence is my biggest downfall. June, that's going to be the same for everybody. It's the same for me as well. When I first, for example, this is just a small thing, and it's not going to be mean anything to you, but doing the Facebook Lives, okay, so I said, okay, I want to be a speaker this time next year. I want to speak at an event, and I said I'd go just back in December or the beginning of January, and I spoke at my own event. I was planning on speaking at somebody else's event, but I spoke at my own event in May of this year, and it was only the second time ever I'd ever gone up to speak in front of an audience. Only the second time ever. And that's because I kind of feared failure, feared my legs shaking, my voice shaking and everything else. But the only way to get over that is face that fear. And I recognised that, and I held my own event, spoke at my own event, faced that fear, and now that comfort zone has just got huge, it's got massive. So much so that we're doing a much bigger event next year as well for the business event. So that is going to be massive as well. So it's going to be another step outside the comfort zone. The only way you can grow confidence is stepping outside your comfort zone. So take a step out and see what happens. It's not going to be as bad as you think. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there for today. So if you've got any questions, you've got any comments, or if you're just popping in just now, just say hi and where you're from. That'd be great. Just leave a comment in the box below. And remember to share these videos if you think it's helping you. If you enjoy them, just share the videos with your friends and family and on your page as well. That would be much appreciated. And we can get more viewers, we can get more listeners. That would be fantastic. And have a fantastic and a brilliant day. Take care. Bye now.